Good evening, Tallahassee. Thanks for joining us on this rainy Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah, it's been pretty rainy out there. I got a little wet on the way to class. My bicycle, I forgot my umbrella today.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Had to rush out the door, so I got a little drenched out today.
Yep.
But unfortunately, we're not going to see this weather change too much, huh?
It's looking like we're going to be sitting in this really dreary lifestyle for about 5 days.
Yeah, and the clouds, rain, some showers, maybe a few more strikes of thunder like we heard
goodness.
this afternoon right before 2:30 there.
Very intense, yeah.
Crazy enough, there has been a tornado warning in Louisiana.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that just came out. And we're still looking for some updates. I don't think they've confirmed the actual touchdown yet. But
just via radar, we know that.
Yeah, and it's pretty crazy enough. But today's tax day, so if you still haven't done your taxes, I think you got a few more hours to file your taxes by maybe on the internet.
It's a very good night to sit inside and do your taxes since it is raining outside. So
yeah, it might not be a good night to go take a walk outside without an umbrella.
No.
But taking care of taxes is...
Force yourself to sit inside and do that.
Yeah, we might have to do quite a lot of avoiding that rain for the next few days
Yeah, most
here.
definitely.
Maybe we'll see it clear out by Tuesday.
Maybe.
But it'll be nice. But Braden, how about you give us a little brief synopsis of what the show has for us?
And you know we're going to, Tom, but first we're going to remind you about tomorrow. The FSU Weather social media takeover. We will be taking over Florida State University's social media accounts tomorrow for 24 hours to give you a look into our production and what we do here at FSU Weather. So tune into the Florida State University Instagram account. Continue to watch our social media as well as the Florida State Twitter account at Florida State. And as always, you'll see us on TV at FSU Channel 78.1 and Comcast Channel 4. So over the next few days, persistent rain showers. We're going to keep this onshore flow of these Gulf moisture continuing to make our way into our area, which will keep our temperatures moderate. Really nice temperatures over the next couple of days, hanging out in the low 80s, maybe upper 70s a couple times. We'll get into the mid 80s, but sunshine returns next week, but don't expect it until Tuesday or Wednesday because that rain is just continuing to make its way in. 67 tonight with some constant rain, pretty foggy, an 80% chance of rain, so make sure you are aware of that as we go in. You're going to have to stay tuned later into the show to find out how much it's going to rain tomorrow and how hot it's going to get, but the rain continues. But as you remember, April showers bring in May flowers. Tom and Catherine.
Yeah, you know, April is kind of a dry month for us, but not right now. This week's pretty wet. About changing seasons, though, whale migration in the Pacific. We have some interesting factoids about that.
Well, if you would like to know, Tom, this whale named Vivara from Russia set the record for the longest mammal migration in history. It traveled 14,000 miles.
Yeah, and travels all the way from the Russian coast, all the way down past California and into, I believe, off the coast of Mexico, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it. It definitely passed a couple of different, probably breeding grounds and food frenzying grounds. So
yeah, and there's only been about 150 gray whales ever in existence. That's the type of whale we're talking about here, and they happen to track, just a certain amount of these with, computers and GPS technology.
Right. See what they're up to.
Yeah, and this time of the year, it's probably heading about further north to head back for the warm season. Maybe go back and visit some friends.
Yeah, most definitely. For now, I think I'm going to take you around Tallahassee. I'm sure you are all very aware of the rain that we are seeing today. I know that I was struggling to stay dry before I got to the studio. But as you can look at all of this precipitation moving through our area, it is going to be a very rainy week ahead of us. You can see lots of heavy rain, scattered showers all the way through Monday we're going to see, but this is currently. Our temperatures are looking pretty seasonable, pretty mild, 72 degrees in Tallahassee, ranging all the way to 83 in Apalachicola and 81 in Mariana. So pretty consistent, pretty seasonable, but very wet. As we look at our dew points, we're looking at 70 degrees in Tallahassee. Again, pretty consistent throughout. These are going to be pretty reminiscent of our low temperatures as we're looking throughout tonight. This is a pretty big deal right now. We see a lot of moisture on this east coast all the way up through the states, coming through the west. We see lots of moisture. This is this afternoon. This is very telling of the amount of rain that we are seeing and how much we're going to be seeing as we look at our clouds and precipitation. Lots of clouds moving in right off the coast of Texas all the way up the east coast of our country. You can see a lot of scattered showers up here and just nailing Tallahassee. So definitely be prepared and watching out for this weather to come. This was today, but we will be moving throughout our future cast to see lots of moisture, Lots of rain just swelling up the East Coast. This is definitely going to be our story for the next week or so. This is going to be moving throughout Thursday morning, and even more rain is going to be heading our way, more moisture. It's just, you're going to get hit. It's going to be great, but it's going to be wet. We're moving through Friday morning, still lots of showers, still lots of rain. Moving through. If you are planning on beach and boating, I personally wouldn't recommend it, but some people are really into boating in the rain. So we're looking at southeast winds, 5 to 10 knots, less than 2-foot waves, mostly smooth, but lots of showers and storms as we were talking about. A sunrise at 7:09 a.m. and sunset at 8:06. So if you're interested in that, go check that out. And tonight we're going to see 67 in Tallahassee, which is a pretty good temperature, pretty cool, but like we said, constant rain, 80% chance, so just make sure that you're very prepared to see that. Tomorrow we're going to be sitting at 81 degrees in Tallahassee, very warm, but like Braden was telling us earlier, April showers do bring Mayflowers, so just look forward to that. It's going to be really, really great. So now we're going to send it off to Tom for the southeast.
All right, this weather event this week kind of reminds me a lot. Last spring we had rain so much for about a straight week, just like we have. A lot of upper level moisture, a lot of cloud cover throughout the entire southeast region, and some heavy showers pushing into South Carolina right now, as well as there have been a couple of indications of a possible tornado activity over Louisiana right now, and we are keeping updates on that. But it is fair enough to see that there's plenty of moisture coming through the area, and with these clouds and rain, bring some temperatures down for us. Yesterday it wasn't quite as rainy in the Carolinas, but now we have that rain in the Carolinas, bringing those temperatures down, not really having that sunlight to warm things up in the afternoon, and up towards Tennessee, maybe the northwestern parts of Texas, they're a little bit clearer than they were yesterday, so a little bit more sunlight to keep them warmer. Looking at these temperatures right about now, 72 degrees in Tallahassee, a little bit cooler than we've seen for the past few weeks here, because we've seen a lot more rain today and throughout the rest of the region. These relative humidities, 94% relative humidity. The air is really wet right now, as you can see. If you walk outside, it's not too hard to tell. There's water everywhere, and that is not a shortage right now. Pushing further into the parts of Texas, they're pretty dry right about now, even though they weren't saying that a few days ago. When this system was further towards them, we like to see how, weather patterns move across the country, and it's not all about what's happening right here. Now it's how things move across. So we have plenty of upper level moisture right now, and that's just going to linger around for the next few days into early next week. We might see that clear out as we push into parts of next week where we see some sunshine. These winds are going to kind of continue to come off of the Gulf of Mexico to bring us some moisture and feed into that that energy to give us that water to produce the rain. And that's, the water cycle. It's got to come from somewhere. It doesn't just come magically from the sky. It comes from the ground because of evaporation, and the world goes round with plenty of circulations. 67 degrees in Tallahassee for tonight. If we see that rain calm down a little bit by the evening hours and then kick up back again once we get some daytime heating, that'll serve to help produce a little bit more rain as well. A little bit warmer down Key West, 85 degrees down there. They're seeing those beautiful, nice spring to almost summertime temperatures. We might see a few more strikes of thunder for the next few days here. But I'm going to take it back with Katharine here. We're going to talk about outer space.
Tom, my favorite thing to talk about, besides the weather, is outer space.
Yes, and one of the controversial topics of the past few years, Pluto. Being in outer space.
Big deal.
Not a planet anymore, but they sent a spacecraft out, and they launched that in 2006, and it just arrived recently.
It did. It actually just sent us back our first color image of Pluto.
Yeah, and it's great to see that, we are, advancing the kinds of observations we have of the solar system, and apparently the moon is orange, right? Pluto's moon is orange.
Very orange-tinted moon, which is pretty cool because before now, it could have been any color. We would not have known because we've never had a color image of Pluto.
Yeah, and before we just had like black and white images of different, wavelengths, but we never actually produced an image that perceives wavelengths the same way that our eye does. So it's kind of nice to be able to see what it would look like.
It's a very big step into the future, I feel.
To the human eye, yeah. And as well as NASA's excursions into outer space. NASA does a lot of research in the weather as well.
They really do.
Yes. and a lot of stuff with pollution. I'm going to be doing some research myself. But for now, we are going to take it out with Katharine again.
So we are looking at our national map. There are lots of watches, warnings, and advisories. If you look throughout the nation, we can see lots of this really pretty bright pink, which is not actually very pretty in real life. This signifies a lot of fire warnings, so a big possibility of fire in these regions marked with bright pink. We're still seeing a lot of winter storm advisories up in the northwest, and if you look down towards our region and in New Orleans, like we were saying, where this tornado has possibly been spotted, there are a lot of flood warnings, thunderstorm warnings all throughout this region. So just keep your eyes out for that and be prepared. If we look at our current conditions throughout the country, temperature-wise, Tallahassee is sitting wonderfully, but rain-wise, we are probably the worst place. Throughout our country, we can see that the Northwest is getting hit with a lot of really cold weather right now. 35 and 34 in Billings and Salt Lake City, which is a very drastic contrast from the rest of the country. We can see 63 in Boston and a lot warmer temperatures all throughout the country. And this is very well seen in this 24-hour temperature change, negative 44 degrees. So the temperature dropped 44 degrees in Billings and 14 degrees in Salt Lake City, which is incredibly drastic compared to our mild 1 degree in New Orleans and even only 1 degree in Miami. So the rest of the country is seeing lots of temperature change. We are just seeing lots of precipitation. Like we can look, lots of precipitation coming from this direction up through the country. Lots of green, lots of precipitation in the east area, and like we were seeing, lots of winter storms piling up near Billings and Salt Lake City, and even sort of towards Denver. So a lot of varying weather throughout the day, but everybody is seeing a lot of really interesting weather today. If we look towards our region, Tallahassee, you can see these storms coming sort of from Louisiana and just piling in towards us. We're going to get hit really hard. This was throughout today, as I'm sure you saw. But even going through the next couple of days and moving northward towards the Carolinas, you can see lots of heavy precipitation moving through, lots of clouds, lots of drastic weather. This is even in the Midwest regions, lots of precipitation moving northward, and even in the Northwest, lots of winter storms, which is drastic change for April. Our rainfall is going to be changing quite a lot. If you look at this map, we can just see inches and inches of rain moving through the country. And a couple of airport delays. Boston and Las Vegas are seeing a lot. So now we are going to send it over to Tom for our second local.
All right, let's take a look at some things here. Let's give a quick overview. We're going to be looking at low 70s for a high tomorrow and pushing into 80 on Friday. We're going to see these rain showers continue. Temperatures, going to stay pretty mild for the next few days here. And we might see a peak of sunshine come at us for next week. As we can see now, not too much sunshine by any means in the Big Bend region. A few showers pushing through at about... And it's picking up for the start of the evening here. See a few more showers come through. Might hear a few claps of thunder as the evening goes on. I like to hear some thunder now and then. It's very soothing when you're trying to go to bed. 72 degrees in Tallahassee right now. Kind of sitting at a cool spot in Monticello. A little bit warmer down by Apalachicola. They're seeing a little bit more of that moisture come off of the Gulf of Mexico there, 72-degree dew point in Carabel. Now we're seeing these dew points push into the 70s from all this rain, and that is more signifying of maybe some dew points we're seeing for the coming seasons here. And we'll see, even on a not rainy day in the summertime season, that's what our dew points will look like. But big band of precipitation stretching all the way from North Carolina, even Virginia, all the way down into the Gulf of Mexico, pushing off of the coast of Texas and moving towards our direction. So we're going to see that feed our direction from the Gulf of Mexico there. These storms are just going to keep moving off and bringing us plenty of precipitation. So watch out for some flooding. Maybe if you sit in a low-lying area, maybe watch out to see if you're going to have any flood damage in your house. We're not going to see this rain go anywhere for the next few days here. And it's just going to be showers, rain, buckets, cats, and dogs. Maybe a few claps of thunder here and there. But for tonight, we're looking at 67 degrees. That rain is not going to stop coming at you. It is going to be very wet constant rain. Might see a few spots of fog in the morning if we get down cool enough. And wind coming gently out of the south-southwest at 5 miles an hour. Might see a few more gusts a little higher than that when you have a little cell come through of some higher precipitation. Rain for tomorrow, 60% chance. I'm going to say we're going to have rain pretty much continually all over. Might be a few breaks here and there, but it is going to be April showers out there right now, even though April's statistically a dry season for us, but plenty of rain, 60%, 50% all through next week into the start. But we're going to see those nice 80s, maybe pushing up into the mid-80s by next week, and those low temperatures staying right in the mid-60s, upper 60s for us there. Maybe cool down a little bit, and that'll bring us those drier temperatures out there when we get a little bit of a cool down in the evening. But for now, I'm going to take it back, and me and Braden are going to be talking about plenty of fun stuff for you for the rest of the show here.
Yeah, we are, but before we get to the fun stuff, Tom, we want to give you an update out in New Orleans. The cyclone couplet really starting to weaken now. If any weak tornado was there, it seems that it is starting to dissipate, but that does not mean the severe weather is gone. We are getting reports of golf ball size hail on I-10 in New Orleans, so definitely a dangerous place to be outside right now. If you know anyone in New Orleans, make sure they're indoors. Just check up on them. Make sure they're doing all right. But that is the update that we have.
Thank you for that update. It's very important to stay updated on severe weather. But a little bit lighter topics. The SpaceX launch of the Falcon 9 rocket, they had their launch on Monday. Came pretty close to another attempted landing.
And yeah, what they're trying to do is they're trying to land the main thruster, the main rocket, on a pad in the ocean after it comes back down from space.
To save costs so they can reuse this rocket so the delivering things into space, possibly people in the future, could be more reliable.
Exactly. And what we're looking at is it got really close, but it got on the platform and it just fell down. It couldn't handle it.
Compared to their last attempt in January, which is a total failure, this if you go search on Google, a Falcon 9 rocket, you can see the rocket kind of descending towards the pad, firing its engines, and becoming kind of landing gently almost.
That's right. Let's bring it back to the Sunshine State. Catherine, what you got for us?
Thanks, guys. Like we've been talking about, you should probably just get your buckets ready. Lots of clouds and rain moving through our state. This is all throughout today, Wednesday, throughout just this afternoon. And if we look at our current conditions, 72 in Tallahassee, lots of rain throughout the northern part of the state, but the southern part of the state is seeing pretty nice weather, 83 and sunny in Miami and Key West. So that's pretty awesome. Really wish we were there right now, but that's okay. We can bear the rain. We'll deal with it. And if we look at our relative humidity, just lots of moisture. That's all I can say. Lots of moisture throughout the state. Completely just going to get drenched, but it's okay. It's going to pass. Just be prepared for all this moisture coming through. We can see this in our radar. You could see this dark red, heavy storms moving through, and even some lighter storms in this green, which is going to be coming through. This is just a little bit ago. Lots of moisture coming through, and in the south we can see scattered rainfall, not as bad as we're seeing in the north, but definitely still present. This is, like I said, throughout this afternoon, throughout just about a couple minutes ago. If we look in the central part of our nation, we can see these scattered showers, less daunting than the north, but still present. A couple of heavy areas, but we are looking all right in the central part of our state. If we look locally, Tallahassee is just getting hit with this rain moving east. This is just a little bit ago. Lots of rain, lots of heavy showers. It will be passing in the next 5 days, but for now we're really just looking out for that rain. Tonight we're looking at 72 degrees in Tampa, 67 in Tallahassee, 79 in Key West. So very beautiful temperatures, not so beautiful conditions, but that's okay. We will take what we can get. And tomorrow we're going to be seeing 81 degrees in Tallahassee. Still lots of storms throughout this whole northern region of our state, and even throughout Orlando and Tampa. West Palm Beach, Fort Myers are going to be seeing a little bit of rain, and Key West is just sitting pretty as usual. So for now, we're going to take it over to Braden for a little bit more information.
Thank you very much, Catherine. And you know, we all know it's coming, and we're headed to our race to the finish. 2.5 weeks left in the semester. I'm ready for finals. I'm lucky. I'm one of the lucky ones. I only have one final exam. Don't want to make you jealous. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's going to be a great week, though, as we continue to race to that finish line. If you are graduating, congratulations. We hope that you continue to tune into FSU Weather once you graduate. But if you're coming back next year, we'll be happy to see you at 6 o'clock. So we're going to go ahead, bring you around the country, see what the weather's looking like now, and see how it's going to change over the next 2.5 weeks as you start traveling for your way home. First of all, check out where all this winter weather is. All this cold weather, 34 in Salt Lake City, still seeing quite a bit of snow. 35 out in Billings, almost a 40-degree temperature drop in the last 24 hours. Katharine pointed that out earlier. Huge differences in temperature as we head back down into Tallahassee. Not even as warm as we would expect, only 72 degrees because of all the rain we've had today, but we still got the warm temperatures. Down in Miami, 84. Lucky you guys, you're still seeing the clouds, but you're not seeing the rain, which is awesome. Again, all this winter weather still in Montana, really pounding Wyoming right now with some heavy snow. But Montana, parts of Salt Lake City, parts of Colorado, still getting snow. You're not going to see much accumulation with this. Just some snow that's going to melt off over the next couple of hours as it starts to dissipate. But as we move off to the East Coast, you'll see we're just continuing to get drenched. All this moisture from the Gulf of Mexico making its way up into Tallahassee, into the Carolinas, even up into Virginia, and some small showers out in Kentucky, Missouri, and out into Iowa. You check out that upper level moisture. We go back to that, but right now let's check out your airport delays. A 48-minute delay in Vegas, 83 out in Boston. Hopefully you're not seeing these delays as we go into the next couple of weeks as you head home. Tallahassee Regional, we don't have that time right there, but that's where we really don't want those delays. Rest of the country free and clear. We hope it stays that way as you start heading home. But we're going to zoom in a little. A lot of people drive home. A lot of people live kind of in this tri-state area, Florida, Georgia, Alabama. So let's check out what's going on here. 72 out in Tallahassee, 72 in Valdosta, 78 in Dothan. Gainesville, our friends to the south, sitting at 81 degrees. I know you saw that walk-off home run last night. That was beautiful. 86 out in Orlando, 83 in Tampa, 76 out in Jacksonville. Cold spot right now, Savannah, sitting at 72 degrees. And you can see the rain, it's just here. All this moisture, it's really not going to get any better over the next couple of days. 94% humidity in Tallahassee, 97% in Valdosta. A pretty good indicator that it's really already raining right now, and it's going to continue to rain over the next couple hours, calling for an 80% chance tonight. And you see it just evolving in the radar. This is the rain that passed today, continuing to intensify as it makes its way into Gainesville and Jacksonville. And here's all the rain that's going to be affecting us tonight, really just starting to form right now and making its way slowly to the east as it's going to continue to affect our weather all the way into next Monday. Tuesday into Wednesday is where we expect that rain to finally die off. But the water vapor imagery showing you the deep moisture, the dark greens, the really deep moisture, which is showing you where all that rain is right now, where we saw those high relative humidities. But as we go into tomorrow for Tallahassee, 81 in Tallahassee, 80 in Valdosta, 74 in Dothan and Albany. And we hope that as you get into your finals week and as you start to travel home, that you do not have to deal with these crazy rain and these crazy temperatures. But this weekend at Cascades Park, we got a little Shakespeare Festival going on, Tom.
Yeah, hopefully they don't get rained out again like some of the festivities this past weekend at Cascades Park did. But they're going to be featuring A Midsummer Night's Dream 3 nights this weekend. And it's going to be a fantastic little festival.
And, you know, I know in high school a lot of us watched had to read Julius Caesar in high school. One of my favorite Shakespeare plays. Sad, but definitely interesting reads from Shakespeare.
Yeah, and Cascades, almost every weekend they've been having events. They have some more events coming up for the following week, so you can check it out on the internet. They have all kinds of acts and performances through Cascades Park. Nice place to hang out, walk the dog, play some Frisbee with the kids. Nice place to just have a nice
Absolutely.
afternoon.
All the local parks, Cascades Park, Lake Ella, all the local places, always great to go. We have one big event at Florida State University coming up this Friday that we'll talk about that after your final local. Let's go ahead and send it out to the boards and show you that the rain is really continuing as we just see all the clouds and the rain, and it's not going to stop. We really want it to stop. I'm tired of the rain. You're tired of the rain. We're all tired of the rain. Why can't the weather just listen to us? But unfortunately, we don't control the weather. We can just tell you it. This rain continuing to move into Tallahassee, getting a nice heavy shower right now. You might see the rain starting to pick up, especially if you're living south of campus over the next couple of hours. But to the east of us, all this rain that we've already gotten, Perry is now stuck dealing with very heavy rain just starting to move out of their area. Currently in the Big Bend, 72 in Tallahassee, Quincy, and Thomasville all alike. Carabel staying pretty warm, 79, 81 in Marianna so far, north and west, but still showing those warm temperatures removed from all the rain, even warmer, 83 down with our friends in Apalachicola. So let me check out the next few days. Persistent rain showers, but your temperatures stay moderate as sunshine returns next week. You're not going to see those high 80s, those low 90s. It's going to be really good to work out, especially when that rain finally goes out. Great temperatures. You might actually want to go to the beach with all that rain. Right now, 72 degrees in Tallahassee. Still those rumbles of thunder out there with that rain. Dew point is at 70 degrees. Check out how close that is to the temperature, showing you really just how moist it is. And the wind's picked up a little bit, about 10 miles an hour. We were really expecting 5 over the last few hours. But as we go into the big picture, what is going to happen over the next couple of days? Well, I'm going to tell you, this onshore flow, it's just going to stay where it is. The moisture is going to continue to feed into our area into Thursday night. We're just going to continue to see those rainy days. You can see the clock Thursday at 6 p.m. and as we go into Friday morning, just continuing to see those showers. It's really not going to stop, not even for the weekend. If you've had outdoor weekend plans, I strongly encourage you reconsider them because they're really not going to be a good time for those with those showers coming in this weekend. But for tonight, 67 in Tallahassee, Quincy, and Monticello. 70, 67 in Carabel as well. Really upper 60s all the way across the board with that rain continuing just into the night, 80% chance. And even into tomorrow, your wind off the shore out of the south-southwest at about 5 miles an hour. As we go into Thursday, April showers, bringing those May flowers, 81 in Tallahassee, Monticello, and Thomasville, upper 70s, St. Mark's, and Bainbridge, and 80 down in Carabel and Apalachicola. We want to remind you, check out the social media takeover. Join us Thursday all day on Florida State University's official Instagram account. We'll give you a nice backstage look of what our weather operation looks like, what goes into making a show. Really interesting stuff, especially to look at this week as with all the active rain. But as you check out your week ahead, your rain chances continue between 40 and 60% until Monday, until things start to dry out on Tuesday and Wednesday. And hopefully the rain lets up enough for the Spring Fling Festival this Friday, Tom.
7 p.m., the carnival's coming back to FSU campus, and plenty of other activities going on in the Union that evening.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll always have some fun with the carnival, always have the G-Force ride, always free for FSU students, the carnival games, the rides, RSOs coming out, breakfast for $1 coming out.
Yeah.
All this wonderful things to kind of check off the semester.
And if you happen to be just a patron, it's $15 general admission and free for 12 or under.
Absolutely.
So,
always inviting everyone in the Tallahassee community to join in Florida State. Again, hopefully that 50% chance of rain on Friday lets us hold up for the Spring Fling.
All right. And I always love those temperatures. But tomorrow, social media takeover, get a peek sneak at what we could do over here in the FSU studio.
That's right. Always catch us on TV and on live stream and our social media accounts. But we'll also be taking over the official Florida State University Instagram account. But always like us on Facebook.com/FSU Weather. Follow us on Twitter.com/FSU Weather. And if you feel the need after the social media takeover, watch us anytime. Livestream.com/FSU Weather.
Also on YouTube as well. We post our shows after the fact if you miss a live viewing. And as well, we are on 11 o'clock sometimes at night.
Yeah, that is correct. So you guys have a great evening. Stay out of the rain. I'm student meteorologist Braden Robinson.
Tom Mazzetti.
Have a good night.